Good afternoon everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be discussing linear equations. Now let me just say that linear equations are one of the most important concepts in basic mathematics. And if you don't understand linear equations, it's going to be hard for you to understand almost any advanced concept in mathematics. So make sure you listen to everything I'm about to tell you. Make sure you understand this chapter very thoroughly. Otherwise, it's going to create problems. So, I'm going to first start by explaining the very basics of linear equations. Okay? So, let me just tell you, the most basic linear equation is a plus b equals 0. Okay? This is basically what you call the linear law. So, basically, you learn linear law when you study slopes and midpoints, and more parts of linear algebra, but this is like the most basic equation. Okay, this is the most basic linear equation. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you. Now the main aim, guys, of a linear equation is to get x on its own. So how can we get x on its own? So listen very carefully. So what you need to understand, guys, is this is the most basic linear equation. So how do we get x on its own? That's what I'm going to tell you. Just listen carefully. So as you know, guys, that in a linear equation, LHS is equal to RHS, meaning left hand side is equal to the right hand side. Like you have to balance both sides of the equation. I'm sure you know that. So what do we do here? So what you need to understand, guys, is in a linear equation, because we have a plus sign here, the operation sign here is plus. So when we transpose, b to the right hand side from the left hand side, the sign inverses. So whatever sign is on the left hand side, that sign will inverse, meaning you take the opposite sign to the right hand side. So if you have a plus on the left hand side, you're going to take a minus on the right hand side. If you have a minus on the left hand side, you're going to take plus on the left hand side. Meaning, you understand what I'm saying? That you have to carry the opposite sign to the other side. That's what a linear equation is. So what will this become? So this will become ax plus b minus b equals 0 minus b. So like I told you, whatever sign is on the left hand side, you carry that sign to the right hand side. But the variable ahead of it, like b, b is going to stay the same. You just have to substitute b to the other side. Okay? So then what happens is, guys, that b and b on the left hand side, it cancel. Okay, then you have negative b. Now the reason why I'm laughing is I said b and b. Now it kind of, reminds me of, Airbnb, especially when you travel. Okay, so now obviously to get x on its own, you have to do x equals, you have to divide a by both sides. So you get x minus a upon b. So basically what you do is you divide x by both sides. Okay? So then you cancel a, and that's what you get. And because this is a negative here, we take a negative. Okay? So this is basically what the rule of linear equations are. This is the basic rule. Now obviously there are harder equations, but all linear equations follow this rule. So this is the rule that you will have to follow. Okay, so I hope you understand this. Now don't worry, I'm going to take some examples. Okay, now if you've understood this, guys, why don't you try solving this question here. 2x minus 5 equals 11. Okay, if you understood this, why don't you try solving that question here. And then you can also try solving 2x plus 6 equals 20. Now I know, guys, I've asked these questions in a very flawed manner, but I don't really want to waste time, so I thought if you've already understood this, in school or whatever, you can start solving these two. If you're still understanding this, then after understanding you can solve both of them. But don't worry, I'm gonna solve both of these questions with all of you. Okay? Well, we have a lot of planes flying. Okay. So guys, I hope you've taken this down. So before I actually erase all of this, let me just review everything. Okay, so basically guys, this is a basic law. Okay, this is the linear law for linear equations. Ax plus b equals 0. So the purpose of a linear equation is to balance both sides. What you do on one side, you have to do on the other side. Okay, and that's why it's LHS equals to RHS. Basically both sides have to be balanced. Okay, clearly both sides have to be balanced. Okay, so now what I was telling you guys is that whichever sign is in the expression, okay, or is in the operation. Now when I mean the expression, guys, I mean this. The whole thing is obviously an equation, but I'm talking about this expression right now, So in this expression you have plus. So whatever sign is on the left hand side, the opposite sign, is to be carried to the right hand side. Okay, and then the same variable here, the same variable as the same constant, substitute on the other side, like I just explained. So this is the basic law. Okay, so if you already understood this, you can start solving those questions. So I hope you've understood this, guys. It's very difficult erasing this, but anyway, it's okay. Okay, so let's basically do this question here first. I hope you got it. Okay, so basically, let me do it here. Okay, you have 2x minus 5 equals 11. So how do you solve this? Okay, just have a think about it. Okay, just think for 2 minutes. Okay, and then I'll join. Alright, sorry about that, guys. I just have a little bit of a discomfort. Okay, it happens at times. Okay, so what do you do here? So like I already said, you have a negative on this side. So what sign do we carry on the opposite side? We carry the positive sign on the opposite side. Okay, so it's going to be x minus 5, okay, plus equals 11 plus. Okay, so what do we add on the other side? What do we add on the other side, guys? What do we add on the other side? Which number do we add on the other side? Remember what I told you, that whatever variable, whatever constant, is in front of the sign, we have to substitute that. Okay, so whether it's an alphabet, meaning a variable, whether it's a constant, meaning a number, whatever it is, Okay, so 2x equals 16. So what is the answer now? So basically now, remember guys, you have to divide, to get x on its own, you have to divide 2 by both sides. So 2x divided by 2 equals 16 divided by 2. So then 2 divided by 2, okay. So what do you get? 16 divided by 2 is how much? Okay, 16 divided by 2 is 8. Okay? So now guys, if you ever want to verify whether the answer you've got is correct, you just take the value of x and you plug it in here. And then you obviously get 2 times 8 minus 5. So 2 times 8 is 16, 16 minus 5 is 11. Okay? So that's verified. So now, I hope you understood this. So now guys, try solving this question. Okay? Try solving this question here. Okay guys? Try solving this one. This one is pretty easy. Okay, it's as simple as the other one. Let's remove it here. Okay, so now what I want to say is that all of you guys who have solved, this question, and have solved this question, okay, let me give you one more question right here. 3x minus 7 equals 20, okay? Okay, and then after this we'll move on to linear equations, which are a little more complicated. So basically guys, again here you have 2x plus 6. So here we have a plus sign. So what did I tell you? That the opposite sign, is carried to the other side. You carry the opposite sign to the other side. So it becomes 20 minus 6. Now what did I tell you? That the number or the variable here is substituted on the other side. The only thing that changes is the sign. Only the sign changes, but the number or the constant transposing to the other side, transposing means carry to the other side, that stays the same. So 2x equals 14. So then what do you get, guys? You obviously get x equals 14 divided by 2, which is equal to 7. Okay, just like we did here, we do the same here. I just did it a little faster. Okay, and then again, to verify this, you just do 2 times 7, okay, plus 6. So 2 times 7 is 14, 14 plus 6 is 20, and then you get your answer. So you just need to plug this in here and you'll get your answer. It's as simple as that. Okay, so now let's do that question. Okay, so now basically guys, I hope you've taken this down. I hope you guys can actually see the board clearly, otherwise it's going to be a big problem. Anyways, so I'm going to give you just a few more seconds. So guys, now in the upcoming videos, whenever I just stand like this and stare into space after solving a problem, just assume that I want you to take everything down. Okay? Don't think I'm thinking what to do next. Alright? Guys, I'm not someone who follows a script and then forgets it and then thinks and then writes on the blackboard again. I basically just make videos, on hindsight, basically. Okay. Now, obviously, guys, sometimes sort of vocabulary that I use can be absolutely absurd or way off, but looking at my body language and the way I'm making the videos, people will understand what I mean. Sometimes some people just read between the lines, so I hope everyone's taken this down as well. So okay, last chance. Okay. Feel sorry for the people who have to, go back. Alright. So now, just try doing this one, guys. I want all of you guys to try this one on your own. Okay? Just try that question on your own, please, guys. Now, if you're not going to try to do problems on your own, you're never going to be good in mathematics. Okay? And I'm assuming that the 2 questions that we did together, I'm assuming you also did all those by yourself. Okay? But the reason why I helped you is just to give you some confidence. So I'm sure now you have some confidence. Okay? Okay, so let's do it together. So you have, okay, 3x, okay, minus 7 equals 20. So what do we do? Remember what I told you. Remember that this number stays the same and the sign inverses. So if the sign inverses and this number stays the same, what do you do? Now I know I'm telling you what to do, but at the end of the day, even when I'm giving you instructions, your mind has to think by itself what to do. And as you think what you have to do, that's going to give you the confidence to learn mathematics. It doesn't matter how much someone gives you the instructions to do something. If you don't think by yourself, it doesn't matter how intelligent you are, how much your IQ is, you're not going to be able to solve this. So just try and exercise your brain. That's what math is. Okay, so let's do it together. Okay, so like I said, minus 7, okay, plus 7, 20 plus 7, okay, so you have 3x gives you 27. So like I said, because you have a negative, so the sign on the other side inverses, so you have to carry the opposite sign to the other side, and you transpose or you substitute the same number or variable. Okay, so then this becomes 3x equals 27. So now guys, what does x equal? Okay, guys, what does x equal? Okay, what does x equal, guys? Guys, it's very important you know your multiplication tables if you're doing linear equations. Otherwise, you're gonna be stuck. All right. It seems like I'm stuck now. Okay. What is 27 divided by 3? I actually forgot. Wait. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 8 is 24.